All right, we'll make another quick video. This is the other one I was working on. I kind of started it, I think, a little too soon because I figured, right after I get through with little red there, then I get a head start on this one. This particular chassis is still a scooter chassis. It was a Motobravo Hornet 150cc. This chassis goes by, or that particular scooter has many names, but the Motobravo Hornet is the one that sticks the most in my head, so that's why I threw that out there. But yeah, it has so many names, it's hard to keep up with. But anyway, so it's just a mock-up for right now, and I know I'm gonna have problems because if you look at the space there with the fender and everything, if you got the header and the radiator, as soon as the front forks compress, it's gonna hit all of that. So yeah, I still have a little bit of room to extend the forks, but there's still a slight chance that's gonna happen. Those the 15-inch rims I originally bought first for the first conversion I did, but I like it. I like the way it looks. I really want it to work, but I think this is beyond my brain capacity. I don't think I'll be able to make it work. I mean, I could make it work, but it's going to be a hack job if I do. And I'm not trying to do that. I mean, I could take some shortcuts and live with it, but I don't think, on this one, if I do decide to complete it, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I just got the shock in there just for a mock-up, just for room. But this is basically just a mock-up, setup. It's definitely subject to change. That chrome swing arm, which is from Aprilia RS250, I originally bought to put on the red bike here because I was going to use that. So when I take the red bike and do a full-size track day on a full-size track, I can extend the wheelbase pretty easily and everything. But I was like, you know what? I won't even worry about it. I'll take it the way it is. But I definitely like this chassis, even though it's a heavier chassis, but it's a shorter chassis, shorter wheelbase. So far, the way as it's a 48-inch wheelbase versus red over here with a 50-inch wheelbase. But unfortunately, though, I'm going to have to dismantle it because I'm in the process of rearranging my garage or reorganizing it because I got my little makeshift workbench just wasn't working, so I bought a heavy-duty metal workbench, and it is heavy. So I gotta move stuff around, get rid of that. I started working on making a shelving to mount my TV on, and then with the shelving, actually I got the wrong length of wood because I wasn't thinking, and the car took. I mean, it's a long story. I don't even want to get into that. So I gotta eliminate that. I'm gonna put my custom-made RC bikes up on the shelf next to the TV. Get rid of that. The metal workbench is 6 feet long, and I got the vise and everything, and I really need that. And then I just got to move some stuff around. So in order for me to make this happen, I just figured I'd make a quick video of what my next potential project was gonna be. But I gotta take this bike down because I need the room to move stuff around, so I can set the workbench up and everything. And this thing right here I was gonna build. I already had a motor mocked up in it and everything. And if worst case scenario, if I can't make that 250 work, I can always take it and throw it in this bike. But I think I'm just gonna take this one because it's the same as the red bike over there, and just use it for a park bike. I was actually gonna build it or pretty much put it back to stock scooter with a little bit of upgrades like the forks, suspension, and brakes. But and then maybe even sell it, but it's not even worth it. It won't even be worth it for me. So, with that said, I'll probably just keep it as a spare part bike, like I originally bought it for, because I only really bought it for the fairings because it was blue. I hate painting, and I was gonna swap them all over to the red bike, but I'll just keep everything for, a spare, and just set the chassis up and everything, just in case I got to use the chassis itself or whatever. But I really had high hopes for this one here, especially with the and that's a 2012 Ninja 250cc I picked up to put in there. So even if I don't decide to build this chassis, and I get like this little bug or harebrained scheme, and I like, okay, I'm gonna do it with this one. I can always just easily take that and the swing arm and put it on this bike, and then make one street legal and just one strictly track, like the red bike strictly for the track. So I don't know. It all depends, because I mean I am so backed up with projects. It's ridiculous. I got this Honda NSR 50. I started this to take apart and dismantle, and I think I want to do a CRF 150R conversion on that one. Then I started building this one right here, which I think that one's going to be good for Supermoto, because it's an aluminum chassis, super light. And if I set it up right, that thing is going to be an animal. So, but either way, I still got projects to finish. Still got to finish this one, put the fairings on, and put the dual front brakes on. Just too many projects. That one's finished. That was my 110. It's finished. I mean, the only thing I would probably want to do with that, because it has a stock powered 110, is just upgrade it to a more faster motor, or modify the 110 to make it faster. But that bike is just such an easy bike to ride. If you've never ever been around a track and I put you on this bike, I guarantee you won't have any problems. You can hold the throttle, you can get on the brakes, and the bike won't do anything scary. My old number 20 right here, Old Faithful. It's time for me to retire her. She's always been good to me, and I'm actually in the midst of redoing the rear sets. I was going to put some adjustable rear sets and better rear sets on it, but I'm going to finish it. But I think it's time for me to let this bike go, because I mean, not let it go in the sense that I'm going to get rid of it, but just like wrap it up, put it in the basement or something, because this bike has never let me down. It's always been good to me. And that's pretty much it. That thing over there, I mean, that's my two-stroke powered 2.0, whole bunch of shit going on with that X7. I'm not even worried about that. But the basic thing is, I'm just going to have to start moving some of these bikes and put them in the basement. And I know once I put them in the basement, that's like the kiss of death, because I very rarely go in there unless I really need something. So once I move them there, that's where they will stay for a long time. But I need the room, because I got to get my heavy duty workbench set up, which set I got. So, I don't know. But just a little update, very little update. And Little Red, yeah, she's close to being done. But I still got some things I got to do. I actually, the rear shock spring, I'm going to need a stiffer shock spring, so I got to do that. I don't like that shock spring. Strangely enough, and it kind of bothers me, because you can sit on the bike. I weigh anywhere between, my weight fluctuates between 160, 65 to 170, 75 pounds. And either way, as long as I'm sitting in the center, I'm good. But if I sit towards the back, the bike squats so bad that I'm like, yeah, I know, I got to change that rear shock spring, go with a stiffer spring rate. But as long as you're in the saddle, you're good. So I'm thinking, well, if I'm on a track, I can use it to my advantage, and it can work against me. Because if I start shifting my weight to the back, especially coming out of the turn, and that back spring is, it's not stiff enough, it's going to unload the front end. which is going to cause the bike to understeer, and there could be a whole lot of problems with that. But either way, I'm just thinking. So I got to work on that. I got to get that done. And now also I had a little setback is my rebound adjuster. I broke it on the left fork. I think the needle itself seized up. And I was trying to loosen it just to test it and feel, and it snapped. You know, so now I got to order a whole new internal assembly as far as the needle and fork cap. I'm just gonna I'm gonna do that and just replace it and later figure out why did that happen. I have an idea and a theory behind it, but I'll just order a new one and then see what happens. But I really wanted this damn 250 to work in this thing, but it's beyond my capacity. I mean, I've got ideas from people on certain forums, on forums telling me to put the radiator in the back. But sadly enough, that motor is not designed, or the water pump in the motor is not designed to do that. And then, yes, I can add an external water or electric pump to help pump the fluid, but that still presents another problem. But either way. So I think I'm going to most likely go to a single cylinder if I do decide to build this one. But I like the way it sits in there. I mean, it really looks good. The profile and everything really looks good. Oh, also, the other problem I think I have is the high center of gravity. This bike right here is going to have, if I do decide to complete it, it's going to have a high center of gravity. The red bike, I can already feel the weight of the motor. That 80 pounds sitting in there, it doesn't sound like much, but when it comes to changing direction and doing rapid change of directions, you feel the weight of that motor. I mean, right now, that bike is just all the weight of the motor, and that's it on the red bike. The Motobravo Hornet chassis is definitely heavier, but I think it's more rigid, so I think it will perform better. So maybe I might just look for like a 400 about a 400. I was actually looking at a Raptor 7, what is it? Damn. I think it was a Raptor 760 or something like, or a Raptor 4 something, or 660, a Raptor 660, single cylinder, or somewhere along the lines, that type of motor to put in there. Otherwise, I might have to go with an air-cooled 250, but twin cylinder, I think is going to be, it's going to take up too much room. At least the Ninja version of it is. So, but anyway, just a quick update. You know me. I'm just like, even before I finish the project, just start messing around and tinkering. But yeah, I got to pick up all this stuff and clean it up so I can get a little bit more efficient in how I work and the way I work. All right, man. Talk to you guys later.